Fstoppers.com has teamed up with Elia Licardi to create Photographing the World 3, the ultimate photography tutorial on all things landscape and cityscape photography. You're watching the behind-the-scenes series on the creation of this full tutorial, and if you'd like to learn more about the full product, head over to fstoppers.com/store. So it is 7 a.m. on the second day here. Patrick isn't here, and I remember him in the middle of the night when it was still pitch black, leaving. He hadn't write a note. He's not here around our house, so I don't know where he went, but hopefully he just couldn't sleep and he took out some camera gear and he's shooting some videos around this place.
This is pretty incredible here. I've never been anywhere where you have like snow up on a mountain range. And then you have the Mediterranean Sea and the beach and the sun rising. This is pretty cool. Pretty good morning. So it's 7:15 right now. I'm doing a little time lapse up here. I got a cat running around chasing little mice. And this is the D500. And I'm using the Tamron. This is their 15 to 30 ultra wide angle lens, and the reason that I'm shooting stills instead of building it all in the camera, which was our original idea, is that this scene is extremely contrasty. If I expose for the sky, as you see here, everything else is going to go black. So it's very, very hard to get the time lapse to look correct built in camera. So I thought I'd just shoot stills, and then I could kind of stitch out the areas that are brighter and mask in a different background. I just think I can get a better looking time lapse by shooting this in stills rather than in video. What are you Google mapping?
Just texting my wife.
McDonald's? You're looking up.
Maybe I'm starving to death here, Patrick.
We're in southern Italy, and you're looking up a McDonald's.
There's nowhere to eat around here, and the places to eat are horrible. I'm saying it like it is. I don't love McDonald's, but it's the only food that I know what it's going to taste like.
Would you say McDonald's double cheeseburger would be better than the steak you had the other night?
Yes.
What?
Here's what my steak was like. My steak was like if you go to IHOP and you order a steak.
And it comes with the pancakes?
Yeah. It was like, you know, the thin steak where 70% of it is gristle. It appears like I'm a huge McDonald's fan. I'm just a fan of like getting enough calories a day to survive, and right now we're not getting enough calories.
The funny thing is I don't know that I disagree with them.
There was no McDonald's within a 100-mile radius, so I started searching the city to find any other type of food. I ran across one bodega that claimed it was selling pizza, and I was really excited until I walked in and actually saw what it looked like. What the hell is that? If you can remember when we were in Italy last time, Italians are not known for their condiments.
What condiments do you have on yours?
Oh, let's see. We got cheese, and that's it.
Oh man, I think mine has no condiments also.
I finally stumbled upon a small grocery store, and at the very top shelf, I found what I had been looking for days. I was finally ready to make a sandwich with not just 3 ingredients, but 4.
In the United States, when you go to the store and you buy a loaf of bread, you have a whole section of bread. I mean, You're confused. There's like 50 varieties, and then every variety has like wheat, honey oat wheat.
Right.
Well, you found the one variety that they have, and then there are 3. This is the red one, there's a blue one, and then there's a green one.
What I did was I went around and I felt some of the bread to try to find the bread that would break my teeth the least. If I bought this bread in America, I would think that this bread is rotten at this point, and I would not eat this.
You take it back to the store.
Stale. It's stale. It's like crusty, crumbly bread because it's too old or whatever. But this is the softest bread they had at the store, so I'm gonna make a sandwich with this now. So you may be wondering, how was the sandwich with stale bread, hard cheese, a single slice of razor-thin meat, and of course mustard? It's the best sandwich I've ever had in Italy.
Oh, that's worth experiencing. So when we do these tutorials, we have to mic our instructors. Usually we double mic them just so that we have redundancy. And we use these Sennheiser mics here. This is the Sennheiser, it's the G3 mic. They're just little lab mics. And we actually have found that if we use the Rode microphones, they sound way better than anything else we've used. But the problem is every now and then we get these really weird pops and this hissing, and we've always thought that it's the cable. I've never noticed this before, but as I was unscrewing this, I actually found that this could come off. And when this came off, I don't know if you can see this here, but this tiny little cable here has broken off of this piece. And I believe this is what's causing things to pop and crackle. I think it all comes down to this tiny little cable. So
wait a minute. You're telling me that these cables aren't reliable?
Dude, these cables I don't think are reliable. And
wait, what? You don't think the Rode mic lab system is a reliable system?
That's what I'm saying. Unfortunately, we have a lot of these cables, but we don't have any more of these plugs. So I think we're going to have to go back to the original Sennheiser mic.
So look, the only reason we really like the Rode microphones, and to be perfectly honest, they do sound better, but it's not like a huge difference in sound quality. It's just these little adapters, and I know this thing looks ridiculous. It's this little dead cat, and you've probably seen this in some of our tutorials, like up on people's collars, but it can be a hurricane outside, and you will not be able to hear it when this is on the mic. And I can't find anything like that for the built-in, or the Sennheiser ones that come with the units. If we can just find this for the Sennheiser mic, I'm totally going back to Sennheiser, just because these freaking cables, like how much money have we spent on these cables? It's crazy.
Okay, go for it.
On my right, your left, yeah.
So all we do all day is just set up shots of Elia walking over and over and over again. The nice thing is it breaks up the walk that we have to do, and I don't have to do it all in a row.
This is true.
Okay.
Alright, go ahead. I'm just gonna roll right here. This is the behind the scenes shot of what we're about to see. We're gonna cut to the glorified shot in 3, 2, 1.
So here we are. This is about as high up as I want to go when we're scouting for this shot. To get here, we had to walk up quite a few stairs, and this old town, all of these homes are linked by one long, windy road and a bunch of concrete stairs. It's not like we had to climb a mountain or anything, but we did have to climb quite a few stairs, so it makes me really happy with my decision to just bring my iPhone for scouting.
For this lesson, Elia figured out that the best shot was actually in a lower position, so we started walking all the way back down the mountain.
This is fun. We're in the middle of a very busy road, very narrow two-way traffic on a one-way road, basically. I'm across the street. Elia's there, just literally feet from the street. Lee's over here doing time-lapse. It's basically like get as much as we possibly can get done. And then we got to do the interview, and then we got to deal with all of these motorcycles everywhere. If I thought yesterday and the dogs and the people were bad, and the cars, this is gonna step it up a notch.
All right, let me show you what we're doing here for the lighting. We have this light stand closed up. We have this little bungee cord holding it to this pole. And then there's our light up there hidden behind the sign. And the reason why we have to do it like this is because these cameras are shooting right down this area. So if the light stand is open, then it's too far in the frame. So this is the best we could come up with.
Right now we're approaching that perfect time during Blue Hour when everything is in harmony. The city lights look fantastic. The sky still looks great. I can still see the greens in the trees on the mountain. It's also getting dark enough where Lee and Patrick have turned on the panel light to illuminate me for this interview. So I know this is just about where I want to be for my final shot. This will be a little bit of a review from last night, but the settings for the camera are pretty much identical. I'm shooting in f8, I'm shooting 3 exposure brackets in aperture priority mode, and just to free up myself for this interview and to automate the camera because it's cold and I want to put my gloves on in my pockets, I've set it up into interval timer shooting, and I'm shooting this time because I'm not worried about capturing the sunset and all of those details like I was last night. I spread it out a little bit further to 1.5 minutes. Last night I was shooting at a 1 minute interval, but this time I'm safe with 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes. Remember, we're still warming up to this photography again in this series, so it's a good time for me to explain Blue Hour itself. Now, when I'm capturing Blue Hour, I'm really looking for a specific moment in time. And sometimes that's an early Blue Hour, which means there's still a little bit of light in the sky, and I can see a lot of detail in the background, the elements themselves, or it's a very late Blue Hour. A late Blue Hour means the sky is much darker, but I can see all of the lights from the town intensely. But usually, and most of the time when I'm shooting Blue Hour, it's capturing somewhere in between early and late.
So Lee's been ripping on Italian food a little bit. He thinks that American Italian food is better, so we decided we're not going to eat out as much, we're going to cook, which means I'm going to cook because apparently we're in Italy and I'm Italian, so I'm going to be cooking. So I told him that I can boil water, throw pasta in that water, and when that's done, I can actually pour sauce on top of that.
This tastes exactly like Chef Boyardee.
The real question is, though, the price of this meal, let's just take a guess. This is like $3 a plate?
Maybe less.
Are you happy with this for the money compared to going out to eat down there?
Here's the
for like $10.
Yes, yeah. So here's my issue. I don't think this is particularly good, but I'm not grossed out by it. And I haven't really been grossed out by other food I've gotten in Italy. But I feel like we could go to a restaurant, spend $20 to $30 and get this exact same thing. Sometimes worse than this.
So last night, Patrick went to bed at 9 p.m. I went to bed at 10 p.m. and I went right to sleep. And I was thinking, you know what? We got to wake up early the next day. This is going to be great. I'm going to get a full night's sleep. I woke up wide awake at midnight. 12 midnight.
You slept for 2 hours?
I slept for 2 hours. I laid in bed for 5 hours. So it's like almost 7 now. We're starting to pack up to leave this place, but we're also walking down to the beach for sunrise. Elias going to be shooting some stuff with the drone. We're also going to shoot an intro for this entire location.
Alright, we've just walked a mile of stairs at 6:30 in the morning to get to the beach. I am now going to try to film as much B-roll of like the city as possible. And for that, we're using the Nikon D500 because it shoots 4K. We've actually brought along this Tamron lens that is an 18 to 270, 3.5 to 6.3. And while most photographers would kind of not consider this lens because the aperture is not that great, we have found that this lens is unbelievable because we could put it on this D500 that gets excellent ISO quality, and then we can shoot 4K, and in an instance we can shoot super telephoto shots, or we could shoot really wide angle shots all in one lens. So we brought the 70 to 200 2.8. We've also brought the I think it's the 15 to 30 ultra wide, and we just find that, man, this little kit lens does really well for video, and we're using it over and over and over again. So I'm definitely glad we picked this one up. So I'm just going to sit here and get as many detail shots of the sun rising while Lee and Aliyah fly the drone.
How much percentage battery life did you have left?
20.
20?
Yeah.
You're a wild man.
No, I usually bring it back at 10.
Oh, I bring it back at like 35.
So what we're about to do now is we're about to film like an intro to Positano here on the beach. And the idea that we have is just to walk with Aliyah. We're going to be using this gimbal here for the iPhone. This is the Smooth C, made by that brand. And then the other thing we have to do is we have to still record audio. So we're going to plug the mic into a D750 for good audio, sync it up with the iPhone, and you should never know that the audio is not even coming from the iPhone. I would just barely walk, because this is going to be very challenging.
Welcome to Positano, everybody.
Welcome to Positano, everybody. This is easily one of the most popular towns on the Amalfi Coast, and in the summertime, it is a beach-goer's paradise. Here in the wintertime, it's a photographer's paradise because it may be a little cold outside, but we also have this place almost to ourselves. This is an exceptional beach town, but it's also carved into a cliff. These houses go all the way up to the top of the mountain. Everything is linked by old stone stairs. It's absolutely spectacular from the bottom and the top, and we're gonna try to explore different levels so we can get different and unique compositions. It's been about 5 years since I've been here, and I'm excited to get back, and I think this is gonna be a great reintroduction to my photography and post-processing techniques.
All right, so I'm going to attempt to record the entire walk back. I'm gonna guess 600. My legs are gonna hurt, but this will be sped up really fast.
534. 534 stairs.
How do you feel?
Oh, great.
Do you? I feel like I'm about to throw up.
You saw us climb all the way back up from the beach. We now are checking out, moving on. We have to carry our bags all the way back down.
And these bags, we were like at 46 pounds, but now we've stuffed them with more stuff.
They're heavier than they were before.
They're like 50 to 60 pounds.
Yeah.
Yes, and I've also consolidated mine because I had 2 bags. I've consolidated to this light 60 pounds.
Yeah, so Eli and I, we're taking the 2 route, go up and down method. Lee, looks like you got like you have 2 cases and the backpack?
Here's why. I want to go to sleep so bad.
You're just gonna sleep in the car when you get down
I'm
there?
going to destroy my body going down, and then I will sleep in the car as you guys go for your set.
That's great.
We made it. Actually, it wasn't as bad. I kind of prefer going down quickly with the bags than walking up with bags.
Gotta go from Positano to Atrani today, and the roads are like so tiny, and this one has a one-way road, but they're doing road work, so they've turned the one-way road, which is barely big enough for one car, into a 2-way road.
Pretty narrow roads here.
Yeah, so this is a one-way road, and I'm going the wrong way on it. They made it 2-way traffic because they have the road closed on the other side. So I have to honk around every sharp turn because there's like people, there's little bikes. And for Italian standards, we're in a giant car. If I was like in a little scooter or a Fiat, I'd feel great.
And we don't even have the cliff next to us yet.
Not yet.
That's coming up.
Yeah, that's once we get out of this madness.
So everyone has told me that I have to drive the Amalfi Coast, preferably on a scooter. And that sounds great. This is a very beautiful drive, but when you're a passenger driving these winding roads, I'm getting extremely carsick, and I have the best view here. I can only imagine how Lee's doing back there. I don't even know if he's alive.
Stay tuned for next week's episode when we take a break from filming our next lesson to watch Donald J. Trump become the next president of the United States.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
What's interesting about this is the behind the scenes is going to come out a long time from now. Like, we're just starting this project, so who knows what's going to happen. And if you'd like to learn more about the full tutorial, head over to fstoppers.com/store.